Today, we face a question that most people don't stop to think about, but one that can truly shape your financial future. If you had to choose between holding cash or owning land, which one builds real wealth? At first glance, cash feels safer. It's liquid. You can spend it today, pay bills, buy gadgets, or invest in stocks. But beneath its shiny surface lies a powerful disadvantage. Cash loses value over time. Inflation, the silent thief, steadily erodes your purchasing power. 100 naira could buy 10 years ago. It often can't buy today. But land. Land tells a very different story. What makes land valuable? Unlike cash, land is finite. Governments cannot print more of it. You can't create new beachfront property. There's only so much of it in good locations. And it's not just sentimental. There are real, measurable gains tied to land ownership. Studies show that infrastructure improvements, new roads, transit lines, and utilities can boost nearby land values by as much as 40% above baseline trends. When communities develop, land values often rise first. According to the National Council of Real Estate Investment Fiduciaries, NCREIF, land investments in the U.S. have delivered around 10% annualized returns over long periods, decades, simply by holding the land. That means your land isn't just sitting there, it's quietly compounding in value year after year. And whether you own a tiny plot in the countryside or a large parcel at the edge of a growing city, you're participating in the biggest asset class on Earth. By the end of 2024, global real estate, including land and buildings, was valued at about $393 trillion, making property the largest store of wealth in human history. These aren't flattering opinions from influencers. These are real, data-driven facts. Cash, useful but not wealth-building. Cash by itself has no growth engine. You keep it in your pocket, in a wallet, or in a bank account that barely pays interest, and over time, it loses purchasing power. Inflation eats away at its value. Even a small rate of inflation, say 5% per year, will have the real worth of your cash in about 14 years. In contrast, land can appreciate faster than inflation. Land can grow with economic development. Land can benefit from forces beyond your control, like new infrastructure and population growth, and you still benefit as the owner. In a world where prices rise, debt grows cheaper, and currencies fluctuate, cash quietly shrinks. Land often does the opposite. Why land often outperforms cash? Let's consider the psychology of investment. Cash is comfortable. It's safe, familiar, and easy to spend, so most people never treat it as a real investment. Land is tangible. You can walk on it, stake it, and feel the value beneath your feet. Land appreciates. Across history and around the globe, land values rise as cities expand and economies develop. You don't even need to build a house or put up a structure to benefit. In many high-growth cities, raw land alone, just a plot of earth, has appreciated enormously in value over the past decade. By contrast, cash in a bank does none of that. Its value remains static, or worse, declines. A simple example, cash versus land over time. Imagine you had $10,000 in cash 10 years ago. If it sat in a bank at 0.5% interest, after 10 years it might only be worth a bit more in nominal terms, but much less in real terms after inflation. Now imagine if instead you used that $10,000 to buy land. Your land could grow at roughly 10% per year based on historical trends. Over 10 years, that could double or even triple your real wealth. And today, that land might be worth $25,000, $30,000, or more, simply because it's finite and in demand. That's the power of land. Final thought, what does wealth really mean? Is wealth just a number in a bank? Or is it real value that stands the test of time, inflation, and economic change? Cash might make life easier today, but it doesn't build wealth. Owning land, a tangible, non-depreciating, globally recognized asset, does. When you choose land over cash, you choose appreciation over stagnation, long-term value over short-term comfort, legacy over consumption. So the next time someone asks, land or cash, remember the data, the history, and the reality. If you want to build real wealth that lasts generations, land is the answer. So if this made you rethink how you see money, if this opened your eyes to the difference between holding cash and holding real wealth, then you already know what to do. Like this video so more people can learn how wealth is really built. Subscribe to the channel if you're serious about financial intelligence, generational thinking, and making smarter money decisions. Because here, we don't just talk about money. We talk about assets, strategy, ownership, power, and the next lesson might just change the way you see wealth forever. See you in the next one.